Goswami's guru. He went to his lotus feet and he asked him the following question. He said, Gramya Vyavahare Kohe More Pandit. He says in the general behavior, people say Pandit, like in ISKCON, you see a man, you immediately call him Prabhu. You see a lady, you call her Mataji. Yeah? Whether that person is fit to be a Prabhu or not, whether that person is fit to be Mataji or not, you call them everybody. So like that, in general society, when they see a Brahmin person, they see Pandit Ji, Thakur Ji, Maharaj, like that. They call different names according to the Shastri, like Sharma, like different kinds of names are attached to a Brahmin person. So is to say, Gramya Vyavahare Kahe More Pandit Satya Kori Mani. Huh? And he said, I actually think that I'm a Pandit. So you're a Pandit. Of course, you know so many languages, you know the scriptures, you know this, you know the Quran, you know the Vedic scriptures, you know all of this stuff. Definitely you're a Pandit. But then he says, but I am such a Pandit that ke ami kano more jare tapatroy. So he says, why, who am I? And why is it that these threefold material miseries are attacking me like this? I am such a Pandit that I don't even know who I am. So that is how he approached. So that's a fundamental question to understand who I am. So Mahaprabhu enlightened him. He had many beautiful, wonderful conversations which are recorded in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in summary form. So if you don't have the Chaitanya Charitamrita, ultimately the Bhagavata Online Academy will get to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We start with Srila Prabhupada's small books, then we go to Bhagavad Gita, then we have a particular order in reading the books. And there's a reason for that, because we want to appreciate these books very fully. So the thing that I want everybody to understand and realize is that enlightenment is not an event. I'll repeat that. Enlightenment is not an event. Enlightenment is a process. There are many levels of enlightenment. So a person can be at this level of enlightenment, a person can be at that level of enlightenment, and there are many definitions given in the scriptures. And I won't necessarily get into the details of all of these things right now, right? Because I wanted to understand that enlightenment is a process. Now, how is that process? Process means what? You have to follow certain set of activities, and then you get a certain set of results. So, for example, we follow the process of going to school, and then going to college, and then going to university, and then going to all of these different stages of university of thing. You get a particular fruit from that stage. So a grade 1 student is also a student, and a PhD student is also a student, but there's a difference in the level of knowledge. I would not call it enlightenment, because our modern education system is actually the system of increasing the ignorance. It's not increasing the enlightenment, it's increasing the ignorance. So the reason I gave up my PhD and attempts to get my PhD, and reason I focused on Srila Prabhupada's books, is because I realized that I was getting it deeper into my ignorance, deeper into my pride, deeper into my lust, deeper into my envy, deeper into my greed by studying these material subject matters. Therefore, I decided to focus on Srila Prabhupada's books and the Krishna consciousness movement. But anyways, everybody needs to come to that realization by themselves. We cannot force anybody. And in the modern world, it's better for students to get some of that so that they can function in society and spread the Krishna consciousness movement when they're ready and mature, just like Srila Prabhupada went to school as well. So enlightenment is a process. How is that process? Like, where is that process starting? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's recorded, has given us a series of 8 verses, of which we'll be focusing only on the first verse today. Okay. So if you can bring it up, Prabhu, it's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antyalila, chapter 20, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That's the verse we are going to look at today. So the verse goes like this. It's a very beautiful musical, even if we don't understand the meaning of the verse, just listening to it while Prabhu is bringing it up on his screen, and he will share the screen shortly when he is ready. So even that, just hearing it is purifying. Okay, it goes like this. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahandavagni nirvapanam Shreyah Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudhivardhanam प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्. So this is the famous verse that I wanted to talk about today. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Okay, I will actually bring it up if devotees are having trouble. I will bring it up so that everybody can look at the words while we are speaking, so that we can have a multi-sensory experience and it'll be better. Okay. Okay, I have it here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can everybody see this? See, it's beautiful Bengali. The Bengali language is very beautiful. It's made even more beautiful by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here's the verse. You can say it yourself with me this time, but keeping yourselves on mute. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapadam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम. So this verse itself is an ocean. This verse itself is an ocean. Okay, we can talk about this for days, weeks, months, years, and we will not reach the end of the depth of this verse. But we are going to look at just a brief introduction of this verse today, and then we'll take questions and comments because it's already, we have only about 25 minutes left, officially scheduled. I have time, but if you devotees may not have the time, so we'll keep it according to the time. Okay. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam means it cleanses the mirror of the mind, of the heart. So it cleanses our consciousness. So right now, I may think that I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm Indian, I'm Canadian, I'm educated, I'm not educated, right? I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm weak, I'm strong. But none of these things are actually our real identity. The more we think that we are these things, the less we will understand what our purpose is in life. I like I told you, when you know what is your role in a particular organization, then you know what your duty is supposed to be. But if you think, suppose I am a marketing man and I think that I'm a factory worker, I'm not going to do a good job at my marketing job, and I will suffer a lot. Similarly, Cheto Darpana Marjanam means it helps us to cleanse the consciousness, our consciousness, to uncover our real identity as to who I am. Jiver Swarup Hoy, Krishna Nityadas. I am a servant of Krishna. We know this, we may know this theoretically, but to realize this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra helps. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing is all of us are suffering in some way or the other. Somebody is suffering with their job, somebody is suffering with their family, somebody is suffering with their relationship, somebody is suffering with their health, somebody is suffering with the politics, somebody is suffering with so many different things. So because we cannot realize who we are in our suffering condition, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra removes that suffering. Bhava Mahadavag Nirvapanam. Bhava Mahadavag Nirvapanam. Once we are in the material world, Jatasya Dhruva Mrityur, Dhruvo Janma Mritasya Cha. Once we are in this world, having taken a birth, we will also have to take a death. And between that birth and death, there will be many miseries. It's not smooth journey. So Bhava Mahadavag Nirvapanam. The main thing it will do is it will remove the suffering in this lifetime. And I have personal experience having done this for more than 25 years. And it will remove the sufferings of not having to take material birth again. You may choose to take to help others, but that's a different matter. At that time, you're not suffering. And then once you have these two things, clearing the consciousness and removing all sufferings, then what happens? Then Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Shreya means it's the good fortune, the lotus of good fortune bestows her benedictions upon us. And what is that benedictions? Vidyavadhu Jivanam. We become Vidyavadhu. Vidyavadhu means the wife or the assistant of knowledge. Vidyavadhu Jivanam. All education, we become the wife, we become the assistant, we become the servant of all education. So our life becomes Vidyamaya. It becomes not ignorance, but it becomes knowledgeable. Every moment of our life becomes very, 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 very full of light instead of remaining full of darkness. And then what happens if you do these four things? Chetodarpana marjanam, Mahadavag nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, and Vidyavadhu Jivanam. Then we get Anand Ambudhi Vardhanam. Ambudhi means ocean. Anand Ambudhi means the ocean of happiness. Vardhanam, we don't have experience of an ocean growing in the material world, but that ocean of happiness inside the heart starts growing and growing, growing, growing. And then we want that ocean more and more, and therefore we become Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. At that time, that Anandam Buddhivardhanam, that ocean of happiness, which is full of Amrita. Amrita means that which is nectar, that which is giving immortal life. Purna Amrita. Purna Amrita means complete Amrita. Swadanam we are tasting. Purna Amrita Swadanam. And then once these six things happen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, first thing, Bhava Mahadavag Nirvapanam, second thing, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, third thing, Vidyavadhujivanam, fifth thing, Anandamudivardhanam, sixth thing, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, sixth thing, then Sarvatma Snapanam. This chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra drowns us completely and makes us supremely victorious. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. There are many, many deeper and deeper meanings of this mantra, and I cannot do full justice to it. But I just want you to look at this translation once. Okay. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Okay, so this is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is only the first verse. Every progressive verse goes deeper and deeper into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic instructions. But, my dear devotees, this can only be realized if we chant ourselves. And that was the thing that I got into my thick head after many years of resisting, of fighting, of refusing to chant, of chanting inattentively, chanting as if I'm taking some medicine. All of the chanting is valid, by the way. No chanting goes to waste. Some fools say that when you chant without paying attention, it is like shooting blanks. That is foolish. It's an insult to the holy name. You're never shooting blanks. Anyhow, any way you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you're always making some kind of spiritual progress. However, it is a fact that when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with great attention, with great love, with great devotion, and with determination, ultimately, then we are getting the maximum benefit. So the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is providing the maximum benefit even if we chant inattentively. But we are not available to take that benefit from the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so great that every single scripture that we read is only an expansion of the glories of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the more we read the different scriptures, the more we will understand that ultimately it is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that these scriptures even exist. Even an illiterate person can chant. Like Srila Prabhupada said, a child can chant, a dog can take part in the chanting. There are many, many experiences throughout all of history, even modern history, where animals have taken part in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the forest of Jharkhand, Jharikhand, it's called in Bengali, Jharkhand, the tigers were dancing, the deer were dancing and chanting. Tigers were saying Hare Krishna, elephants were chanting and saying Hare Krishna. And the tiger and the deer are known as natural enemies. The tiger eats the deer. The moment the deer smells the scent of a tiger, he runs away or she runs away. But in this particular case, in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of them are chanting Hare Krishna. And the fact, there's a proof that this is universal, because in the Holy Bible, it is mentioned that heaven, or the spiritual realm, the kingdom of God, is defined as a place where the lamb and the lion lie together. The lion eats the lamb normally in the material world, but in the spiritual world, the lion does not eat the lamb. Both of them are very, very saintly, and they chant Hare Krishna. So like similarly, the deer and the tiger were dancing together, and they were in great ecstasy. So in the modern world, all of us have become like animals. We don't have any peace. We're constantly fighting, barking, just like cats and dogs were fighting. So there is no chance for peace until we spread the chanting of the names of God, and especially if we can spread the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There is a lot more that I can say, my dear devotees, and I can go on talking till I'm blue in the face. That's what I do. That's my life. But I want to now see if any of you have any questions or any concerns or anything that I can do here to help you uh, to increase and improve your chanting. And especially, we have some very experienced devotees here, lots of amazing souls here who have committed to chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I invite all of those who are new to this process first to ask your questions. And anybody else who are already committed, you are also free to ask, but I would say just hold it, because you are very experienced chanters of the holy name. You already know a lot, and we want to make sure that the new devotees who are yet new in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can get a chance. Okay, so we can do that, and then we can open it up for everybody else. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Go for it. Questions, comments, concerns.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a small question. Maybe you can correct me.
Hare Krishna.
I
Prabhu, if you would like, if you have not a problem, you can turn on your video, and then it will be very interactive, more interactive. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. If you feel it's not compulsion, but you can if you want to.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Avnish Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me, Prabhu?
I can hear you nice and loud, Prabhu. And now I can see you also. Wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a small question regarding the chanting, regarding the position of chanting. So, should we do with the closed eyes, or keeping Krishna in front of us while chanting, or can we sit on the? Should we sit on the floor, or we can sit on the sofa and do chanting? And the best time for chanting, of course, is the morning time. But any other thing you want to add to improve our chanting?
The best rule for following the chanting is do whatever can help you to chant better. So if you can close your eyes and focus on the sound of the holy name entering your heart, entering your ears, then do it. But if closing your eyes causes you to fall asleep, then don't close your eyes. If looking at your deity or looking at a picture of Krishna or going and chanting in the temple room helps you to chant with great attention and helps you to complete your rounds, then do it. If it does not, then don't do it. So if depends on your body. So look like you have an older body. So if you cannot sit on the floor, if it's causing you pains, if it's causing you any difficulties, then sit on the couch. If you can manage to sit on the floor, then sit on the floor. The whole idea is somehow or the other chant. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. So somehow or the other, we are meant to invest ourselves. Nivesh means to invest. Nivesh bima is to invest. Niveshayet means to invest ourselves in Krishna, somehow or the other. So whatever helps us. So somebody might say, oh, I can only complete my chanting if I'm chanting on the train or on the bus. Then chant on the train or chant on the bus, right? The only chanting which is worse is no chanting. So somehow or the other chant, and then once you're starting to chant, then figure out, okay, what can I do to improve my chanting? It's just like a businessman, a businessman will start selling something, and then he will think, what can I do to increase my business? Maybe I should sell this product. Maybe I should increase my price. Maybe I should decrease my price. Maybe I should open a second store. Maybe I should hire another employee, right? A businessman is constantly thinking about how to improve his business. Similarly, someone who is in love with somebody else is constantly thinking, how can I surprise this person? How can I delight that person? How can I make life better for that person? Especially when you see couples who are like you and your good wife who have been married for a long time, you can see how they are constantly trying to help each other in different ways. It's a very sweet exchange. You can see that when a disciple loves his or her spiritual master, he or she will do anything to please the spiritual master. They will undergo great difficulties, and nobody has told them to do it. Nobody, the spiritual master is not telling the disciple, you give up your, take 3 weeks away from your job and come and join me and help me, serve me on my yatra. The spiritual master is not saying that. But the disciple is saying, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So similarly, you think about it. You're already chanting Hare Krishna. So you think for yourself, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to increase and improve my chanting? And in this way, you do it. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhu. Any prayer in the morning before chanting, or we can just start the chanting as it is?
You can pray you can chant the Gurvashtakam, Samsara Davana Lalita Loka, that song. You can say any prayer from the scripture. You can chant any verse from the Bhagavad Gita. You can make your own prayer. You can make your own sankalpa, and you can say, please help me in this chanting, my dear Lord. Please help me. Or you can say that I'm going to chant this many rounds right now, my dear Lord. Please help me. You can make that. There is no, everybody is free to figure out what helps them to chant the best. Some people chant with their eyes closed. Some people chant with their eyes open. Some people shake their heads like this. It doesn't matter. Just chant whatever works for you personally. But important thing is to chant. Chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in such a way. And the offenses are there. Try to avoid the offenses. The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name. And importantly also, Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. So Tata Anartha Nivritti, like all of these different stages are there. So connect yourself to the disciplic succession through the bona fide spiritual master. This is also very important. When you receive the Shuddha Naam from the spiritual master, then it improves and enhances your chanting. Okay? Something that we cannot do on our own, we can do by the mercy of the spiritual master. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I myself, Satish Kumar.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I want to compare the devotees from Western countries to India. Western countries, they are blessed with wealth-wise. They are very, they are living a sophisticated life. When come to India, the people are struggling most of their time for the survival. For example, presently I am jobless. Most of my energy will go to thinking about my job and all these things. Practically, how can I enjoy the beauty of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
In our Vedic culture, Satish Kumar Prabhu, in our Vedic culture, excessive opulence is considered as a trap. So the opulence of the Western life is actually, if you look at the number of devotees in the Western countries versus the number of devotees in India, you will understand that it is a fact that in the Western countries, there are very, very few devotees because material life and the influence of Kali Yuga and the influence of Maya is extremely strong. So in the Vedic culture, excessive opulence is dangerous. Only a very pure devotee can handle very much opulence. So in general, we don't compare our situation with somebody else's situation. The devotee thinks like this. This is the consciousness of a devotee. My dear Shri Krishna, whatever you have given me and whatever you have taken away from me is only for my own benefit. So it is for my own benefit that you have put me in this situation. In fact, there's a famous verse in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which says, and I'm going to give you this verse today. I want you to study this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you have a Srimad Bhagavatam, Satish Kumar Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, There's this famous verse that starts with Yasyaham anugrahanami harishye tad dhanam shanaihi. Find it. So I will find it actually for you, and I will give you the verse, and I'll show it on the screen also. Okay. Yasyaham anugrahanami. Where is that verse? Anugrahanami harishye tad dhanam shanaihi. Sorry, not in the 5th canto. It was quoted in the 5th canto, but it's actually in the 10th canto. I'm just going to share my screen. Thank you very much, Mother Shashikala. I'm very grateful to you for sharing the verse number with everybody. So here, this is the verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Yasyaham Anugrahanami Harishye Tadhanam Shanai Tato Adhanam Tejanasya Swajana Dukkha Dukkhitam. The personality of Godhead said, if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the relatives and the friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way, he suffers one distress after another. So Srila Prabhupada, this is the verse, 1088.8. See Bhagavan Vacha Yasyaham Anugrahanami. So, in this verse, we understand that a devotee gets very happy that the Krishna is taking special kindness upon him. So, I understand that it is difficult, but don't worry, Krishna is going to take care of you in every respect, just as long as you rely on Krishna's mercy. Okay, Prabhu? So if you have further question about this, you can definitely ask me by email, das@dasadas.com. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
But so far you have not starved, and from now also you will not starve. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
In fact, there's a famous verse, it's in Marathi. Sharat Prabhu, you're walking, and it's, yeah, thank you very much. So there's a verse that says that when I was born, when I was inside my mother's womb, you protected me from all the nasty substances that are inside the body. When I was born, then you gave milk to my mother's breast so that I could be fed. And so far you have fed me. So why should I worry about my sustenance? You are going to feed me. That's it's a Marathi song. I won't sing here, but it's a very beautiful song. So anyways, anybody else has a question or concern? Okay, we can open it up for everybody. Whoever wants to add anything, especially the experienced devotees who are chanting Hare Krishna, if you have something to add, we only have a few minutes. Now, remember, I have the time, few more minutes, but if somebody has to go in about 5 minutes,
Yeah,
feel
dear
free.
devotees, you can also type in your questions if you feel, that way you can express yourself. Welcome.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One more pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have one actually question that you said that you left PhD to read books of Prabhupada. That project will touch my heart. That I mean, you have so much love for reading Prabhupada's book. It's amazing, Prabhu, actually. So, I mean, it's really touched my actually heart that somebody can leave his career to read the books of
I did
Prabhu.
not leave my. Let me explain. Prabhu. Don't think that. So I did not leave my career. So at that point in time, when I was pursuing a PhD, I was already chief technology officer and a vice president of data and technology in one company. I was already doing that. And when I was studying the PhD, I reflected on what is it going to happen that is different after I complete my PhD. Am I going to become an academic? Am I going to become a professor? Am I going to become a researcher? Am I going to do these kinds of things? And the answer that I got was no. what am I going to do? I am going to remain in my job and career because I'm a family man and I need to earn money to support my family. And so what's the point of doing this PhD? I might as well use the time that I need to read all these 30, 40 papers every week. PhD students are slaves of their professors. So I might as well use that time to read Srila Prabhupada. So it was like that. Plus, Srila Prabhupada's books were much more interesting and exciting and fun. Whereas I had to read about all kinds of things while trying to do my, because you have to get a broad understanding of many different subject matters. You have to read a lot of papers. And these papers are mostly garbage because you read one paper, then you read the other paper. The person has just refuted whatever he did in the first paper. It's not always the case. There are many good papers also. But again, they are knowledge of the material world. So they increase my ignorance. So I want you to get a clear understanding that I have not given up anything. I only got more than I had. Please
Yes,
continue.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, I have actually two questions that here actually. That first of all, that how actually we also have actually developed the love for reading Prabhupada's books. That normally I also find it very difficult also to read books of Prabhupada. I read every day, say around maybe 10-15 minutes. So how I can also as a actually practitioner that to increase my time in reading the books of Prabhupada. Prabhuji, that is my first question that.
Yeah, the first question answer is everybody has a different way of learning. Some people learn by reading, some people learn by hearing, some people learn by doing, some people learn by seeing, some people, like different people have a different styles of learning. Like some people are visual, some people are auditory, some other people are like different learning styles are there. Some people need to do something. Some people, if you look at their book, it's full of colored marking. Like people put stickers, people put underlines, like they highlight in this color, that color. So everybody has a different style of learning, Prabhu. So by this time, I'm pretty sure you know what is your style of learning. You know what is, like, for example, personally for me, reading is there, but even more than reading is hearing. So when I hear, because I remember this from my college days, from my university days, that when I was sitting in the classroom, right, there, it was as if there was a tunnel between me and the professor, like nothing else existed. It was the professor, like the professor occupied the whole screen. I could not see my classmates. I could not see anything. I was just carefully hearing what the professor was saying. So now, then I realized that my style of hearing, my learning is by hearing. So now I focus quite a bit of time on hearing. Like I have a lecture going on if I'm cooking, for example, and it doesn't, some people cannot do that. When they're cooking, for example, they cannot hear because they get distracted. But I don't get distracted. I'm able to do a good job at both cooking as well as hearing at the same time. So what you have to do, Prabhu, is you have to figure out what is your learning style and you have to adopt your learning style. And the book is available to us in those ways. Book can be available as a book. You can read the book. Book can be available as a audio. The book can be available as someone's class. The book is so Srila Prabhupada's books are also accessible through his lectures. So Srila Prabhupada has left behind more than 2,400 recordings. So if hearing works for you, then hear Srila Prabhupada's recordings. And then you will see that you will get a better taste for also reading, because reading is also kind of hearing. Right? Sometimes reading silently helps somebody. Sometimes reading aloud helps with somebody. Sometimes making a group of readers. That's why we have the Bhagavata Online Academy. Group of readers reading together and asking each other their questions and sharing the realizations helps. So you figure out what is your learning style and learn from that too. Before I take your second question, there is one question on the chat which I can take. Is that okay, Sharbhuja Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so I will take one question from the chat. Tapas is asking how to increase enthusiasm in chanting from mechanical to blissful chanting. My Guru Maharaj told me this many, many times, that if you are trying to taste the enjoyment in the chanting, you will not get the taste in chanting. You will get the taste if you are trying to give the taste. In other words, if you are trying to chant for the pleasure of Radha Krishna, chant for the pleasure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chant for the pleasure of your Guru Maharaj, then you will get taste. But if you are trying to get taste, you will not get taste. So therefore, if you are trying to get the taste in chanting, that is the wrong approach. The approach should be, how can I give the taste in chanting? So And if you don't know how to do this, what you have to do is you have to hang out with people who are very, very advanced chanters. They sit down there and they get into their chanting, and then everything else ceases to exist except the chanting of the holy name. Find such people in your community and stay close to them and find out what else they are doing in their life. What are they eating? When are they going to bed? When they're rising? What are they watching? What are they reading? Who they are spending time with, how they are spending their day, because our chanting may be 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is that you chant, but actually your whole remaining hours, like if you're chanting for 1 hour, then remaining 23 hours, you're chanting for 2 hours, then remaining 22 hours, how we spend that time determines also the quality of our chanting. Okay? And also receiving the holy name in disciplic succession increases the potency of the chanting. Okay, Tapas? Hope that helps. Okay. Yes, Raja, I love that. Yeah, enlightenment is not an event, it's a process. Yes, very good. One more question here from Mother Snehavati Gandharvika. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for joining. By the way, she's living in the headquarters of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Siddham Mayapur. Many devotees, sincere doubt in my heart, many devotees whom I admire are very attached to chanting in Brahma Muhurta. Whenever I ask them anything, they strongly say that chanting must be done only at that time. I understand and genuinely appreciate the power of Brahma Muhurta, but I'm not able to chant at that time consistently. I do chant attentively later in the day, but in the back of my mind, I feel guilty as if I'm not doing it properly. Puji, I want to do the right thing and follow this sincerely. Kindly clarify for initiated is chanting only effective done at Brahma Muhurta. Attending chanting at any other time equally spiritually potent. I'm grateful for your guidance. Mother Snehavati Gandharvika, different devotees are of different personalities and different abilities. So somebody is a morning person, somebody is a late night person. Our whole world is organized for morning people. But we should understand that if we are not able to chant in Brahma Muhurta, it means that we are still in the modes of material nature. However, chanting in the modes of, while being in the modes of material nature is still transcendental. So chanting is always effective, no matter when you do it. Now, what the devotees mean to say is that if you can do it, then it's better to chant in Brahma Muhurta. And it is a fact. It's a fact that it helps us. But if you cannot do it, then do it as well as you can. And take my word today for it, that there will be a day when you will also be attached to chanting in the Brahma Muhurta. But don't feel discouraged that you're not able to do it today. Okay? Everybody has their own journey and they are at their own level of advancement wherever they are in their Krishna consciousness. And we should do what we can with what we have. So if I have 1 rupee, then I spend that 1 rupee for Krishna. If I have 1,000,000 rupees, then I spend 1,000,000 rupees for Krishna. Right? So we are constructing the TOVP. Somebody is giving $1,000,000 for TOVP. Somebody is giving 10 rupees for TOVP. Does not matter. What matters is what they have given. What they were able to do, they have given. So if you are able to chant later in the day with love and attention and care, then you will see yourself advance in Krishna consciousness and you will not be shaken from Krishna consciousness. Guruna apena vichalyate. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that even if a big disaster strikes on your head, na vichalyate. Yam lagbha chaparam labham namanyate chadikam tataha. So by getting that you feel like there is no greater gain. That is the effect of chanting very nicely, and you will get that. And even if you are not there today, don't be discouraged. You will get there because that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy upon you. He has already taken you within the holy dham. All you have to do is stay there and chant Hare Krishna to the best of your ability and keep chanting. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we will now take the second question from Shadbhuja Prabhu. And I know that we have run out of time for this class. So if devotees need to leave, you feel free to leave. There's no problem whatsoever. But if you have further questions, you are free to stay here for a few more minutes. I myself have to leave in 8 minutes. Shadbhuja Prabhu.
Shadbhuj Prabhu, you have to unmute. Yeah, you can ask.
Oh, yes, you're on mute.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, you have a second thing, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, actually the question is that, so actually how we can inspire actually our student to take up Krishna consciousness. Say, for instance, who are doing, I mean, say anything, any degree, or because I am actually professor, and
Yes, I know.
yes. So today also many actually PhD scholars have joined in your lecture. So how actually I mean, we can actually inspire them that I mean they can continue their, if they want, their PhD or MSc, whatever they are actually want, and at the same time they can also engage in Krishna consciousness. So basically, I'm
Yes,
asking that how they can use their material knowledge, whatever they are actually studying, either PhD or MSc or whatever maybe actually, and at the same time actually engage that in the service
Mm,
of Lord Krishna.
mm. Yes. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavah. Ata pumbit vijayashrestha varnashrama vibhagasha. So everybody has been given a certain set of skills and talent and knowledge. Somebody has been given some kind of analytical ability. Somebody has given a knowledge ability. Somebody has been given musical ability. Somebody has been given cooking ability. Somebody has given artistic ability. Everybody has been given some kind of special skills. Everyone has some superpower. We, we should not, even a little ant has a particular superpower. It can carry 2 or 3 times of its body weight without any difficulty for long distances, according to its size. So the vulture has a ability. He can see from 5 kilometers high in the sky. He can see something, food on the. We cannot spot food that far away, right? Even if food was placed in the same room, we may not be able to spot it. So every single living entity has their own special ability. Krishna consciousness does not mean that we have to give up what we are doing. This is not the goal of Krishna consciousness. Just like I told you, I did not give up anything. I got more than what I was getting before, right? So it's just that I chose not to finish my PhD because it would not have impacted me positively more than what pursuing Krishna consciousness wholeheartedly would have impacted. So I don't want anybody to get a negative thing that they should give up their PhD, they should give up their knowledge. It's not the fact, but we should recognize its place, right? So all the material knowledge in the world has mainly only one benefit, and that is it gives you the ability to earn your livelihood. That's it. Beyond that, the main questions of life cannot be solved by that knowledge. Hmm? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was a great scholar in his own right, in the 19th century, he sang, Jadavidya Mayar Vaibhav Tomare Bhajane Badha. He says, Anitya Samsare Moha Janmaya. जीव के बनाए गाधा. So actually, the more material knowledge we have, it's a fact that we don't see very highly intellectual people. There are a few, but we don't see them because they cannot have faith in something that they cannot perceive or understand. So, in other words, they cannot accept, because of their high level of mental and intellectual advancement, they cannot accept that there is something that I cannot understand. And that, if we can get to the point of true humility, like Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer, like many great scholars, get to a point of true humility that I really don't know much about whatever it is that I'm studying. And that when that true humility can be uh, awakened, then we will realize that there is something sublime beyond what I can grasp with my senses, beyond what I can conquer with my brain. Because very intelligent people have that pride. Everybody has a pride. The bodybuilder has pride in his muscles, and the intellectual has the pride about his brain. Huh? So everybody has some pride. The beautiful woman has pride about her beauty. The rich man has pride about his wealth. But we should realize that these things are all temporary, and even the most intelligent person will have to eventually, if they live long enough, suffer things like dementia, etc. So we should figure out what is it that is beyond the reach of my academic understanding. And we should really reflect on that very carefully. And we should say, okay, there is something we should understand. We should come to the point of understanding that there is something more than body and mind, something more than intellect, something more than my academic achievement. What is that? more. If we can get to that point, then we will come to the point where Srila Prabhupada said that the scientist should use his knowledge to understand Krishna, to help understand Krishna. There are some scientists who are doing that, and we need more of them. We need more smart people. We need more intelligent people. We need more hardworking people to actually focus on spiritual life and not understand spiritual life as being something that is divorced from material life at all. Actually, all of material reality comes from a spiritual reality. So if we don't understand the spiritual reality behind all the material manifestations, then our knowledge is incomplete. So we should go there deeper and deeper. We should ask these questions very carefully. There are lots of books. Srila Prabhupada has left so many books. Read these books carefully. You will see that spiritual life is not about accepting some dogmatic understanding. Spiritual life is more than that. Okay. I'm actually out of time now. I just got a notification that I am 1 minute away from my meeting.
Thank you,
So I
Prabhuji.
hope this helps. Please
Yes.
follow, please ask your questions, any challenges, whatever it might be, to me by email. I'm very happy. My spiritual master and many other hundreds of devotees have given me copious amounts of time and energy. They have given me so much love that I cannot repay them back, but I can pay it forward by passing on their love to everybody else who asks questions, etc. Okay. So with this, I need to stop. When is the next class? Mr. Kuja
So
Prabhu, when is the next one?
So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So the plan is to schedule the same time the meetings every Friday, 7:15 p.m. So this
So
way,
dear devotees, please put this on your calendar. If you liked what you heard today, there are many more highly illustrious and wonderful, sincere, simple devotees who are going to speak about various topics, and please take full advantage of this. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha pajitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, actually, everybody can unmute and say the Hare Krishna together. Let's hear that beautiful sound. 1, 2, 3. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
I
Hare
feel very
Rama.
blessed. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.